Hey everybody, Tyler Collins here with another Orange County SEO video. We get a lot of customers and clients who ask us how to properly optimize their social media channels for SEO specifically. So I'm going to go through a few setup items on how to optimize your profiles and link them to your site and things like that. The first thing you want to do is, if you have no social media set up yet, you want to determine the different social channels that you want to use as a business. So you need to define exactly what it is you want to do on social and determine whether or not a particular social media platform applies to you. For example, you need to decide if you want to be on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. We always recommend Google+. In fact, those ones I just mentioned are the go-to social media profiles when you're looking to optimize social for SEO. So if you can be on those platforms, we highly recommend it. And so once you've determined the channels that you're going to use, you want to go out and create your accounts, essentially your profiles on those different sites. You want to make sure that you keep branding in mind when you set up those accounts. So any email addresses you create with those accounts, you want to be brand specific with those. If there's a way to interweave your keywords for your SEO strategy into those accounts, you want to make sure to do that with your profile name. For example, on Pinterest, you can specify a username that either contains your brand or your keywords, and those keywords or your brand name end up in the URL for your Pinterest profile. So things like that you wanna keep in mind. Once you do set up those profiles, you're going to have an opportunity to populate them with different forms of media. For example, you're going to have image fields. You have a profile picture just about on every site. You have a banner opportunity, so either a timeline photo or a Google Plus banner or YouTube banner. Typically, you want to have a graphic designer prepare those images for your different profiles, custom sizes for each different platform. So have your graphic designer research that information and put together some branded images and banners and profile pics when before you go and set up those accounts. You want to think about things like in that graphic design process. You want to think about things like your branding, obviously, and your messaging. Is there any kind of unique selling proposition you can include in your banner? Do you want to have a phone number there? We typically recommend some form of call to action, maybe even a preview into your services, or the benefits of why a customer should contact you. And the last item on images is that you want to name your file names with keywords in your file name. So be clear on what keywords you're trying to optimize for your site, for your SEO strategy in its entirety. Be clear on what your primary keywords are, and optimize your banner, your profile pic, images that you upload to your social platforms. Optimize those with keywords. You want to use dashes, hyphens in between the words of the keywords. So if you have a keyword phrase, for example, Orange County SEO, we would optimize our banner image with orange-county-seo.png or .jpg, and then upload them to Google or Facebook or Twitter. The next step would be to populate all of your channels with content, and what I mean by that is set up your profiles, populate all the fields on those profiles. You want to make sure that you specify all the settings that the profile offers. For example, what industry are you in? What business type are you? Add your phone number, your contact information, your hours of operation, whatever field they offer. Make sure you add in some data for it so you can completely complete your profile. So fill out every field, especially the website link. Make sure to include your website in your social profile, because it will then link back to your site. Facebook will allow you to include a link. Pinterest, Twitter, pretty much every social platform will allow you to include a profile link. So make sure to include that. And then in your descriptions, sometimes, not always, but sometimes they allow you to embed more links in your descriptions. For example, you're going to put in a company bio or what your company's about. You have an opportunity to include links, in between paragraphs or as anchor text. In some cases, not always can you format anchor text in those descriptions. You want to make sure that your descriptions are 100% unique on each of your different social channels. Duplicate content still applies, with social. If you want your social profile or property to be recognized in search and add value to your SEO strategy, make sure that you take the time to write, at least 300 words of unique copy for your Facebook description, your Google Plus page, YouTube. Different on each platform. Don't use the same bio for each platform. It's just essentially duplicate text. You want to do this across all your profiles. Twitter obviously only allows a small snippet of text, so you're going to, again, fill out as much as you possibly can. A couple tips on Facebook. Specify your type of page. If you're a local business, specify that. If you're a website strictly, specify that. They give you an option to specify the type of Facebook page that you're setting up. So just think that through. Make sure you define who and what you are in terms of page type and business type. Utilize all I mentioned all the description fields on Facebook. You have a short description, a long description. You have a lot of room to add in some custom content, so take advantage of that. And then of course your business address, phone, email, so that users can get in touch with you when they find your site or find your Facebook page. LinkedIn is a little bit different. A few less fields than Facebook offers, but still make sure to fill out your description. They actually give you services tabs, so you can create different services as different pages on LinkedIn that are linked to your main company page. So let's say we have a search engine optimization page. We could talk about search engine optimization or social media marketing. We can talk about social media marketing and our services on that specific page. Those pages can be great for SEO. You can utilize keyword strategies and build rank to those individual services pages. They also allow you to, on LinkedIn, they allow you to upload things like videos and project documents like PDFs and PowerPoints and things like that. They also have some cool company history fields where you can specify, when you're founded and things like that. So again, fill out all the fields. Twitter, again, less room for a description, but utilize your keywords also. Something I didn't mention on the other platforms is you want to utilize your main keyword in the first 160 characters of your description, because that is essentially the meta description for that particular social page. The meta description is the snippet of text that shows up in search and is displayed to users when somebody is searching for your business. That's the snippet of text that shows up under the title of your page in the actual search results on Google. So utilize that first 160 characters to optimize for SEO, create a call to action, put your phone number in there, whatever it is that you think is appropriate for your messaging and marketing. And always include your site link, your keyword, your phone number. Pinterest, fill in all the fields possible. Again, another a shorter area for a profile description, but you can go into your boards and create these collections of images and specify more descriptive information there about. Again, you could have a board for every type of service that you offer. You typically want to launch a Pinterest profile with a few boards, which are collections of images. You don't want any of your social channels to be a complete ghost town, void of any business information, void of any images or content. You want to set yourself up, establish like you have a presence there. Don't just create an account, link your site, and then think you're done. Add some content there in a way that it might show up in search if Google were to crawl that page and find some unique information or images there that would be valuable to users. In different videos, we're going to talk about how to promote those actual pages and really leverage posting strategies for organic rankings on your site itself and for actual posts and boards and category pages, things like that. YouTube is a great platform. They offer tons of features on your YouTube channel. Make sure to customize your banner, customize your description, customize your discussion area. Make sure you have fresh, updated content on your discussion area. Create playlists. Obviously, you need to have videos. Site links also. You can specify site links. You can link all your other social channels. That's another thing. When you get an opportunity to link another social channel, make sure to include it. For example, Facebook, you can connect your Facebook to Twitter. Google Plus, you can connect Google. You can specify to link to your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your LinkedIn page. You can add in all these links. You want your social channels to have, a matrix, essentially cross-linking to each other, so that there's a good cohesiveness between your social platforms, so that when they're crawled, Google can detect the relationship between all the different profiles and ultimately your site, which we're going to talk about how to link your site in a second. The Google Plus page is extremely important that you build out and make very professional. Use custom images, use custom content, make sure that it's very thorough, you fill out every field, include hours of operations, legitimate business information about your location, add in your business address. You should also be making sure that it's verified in Google Places or Maps listing. You want to link your Google Plus page, which is the social page, with your Google Maps listing so that those are merged. You want to add in your website and make sure that's a verified website. You also want to configure publisher markup on your domain for your Google Plus social page. And what that does is it basically instructs Google to assign publisher credibility to your Google Plus page. So when you post a piece of content on your website, it automatically is configured to recognize your Google Plus page as the publisher of that content. And that sort of activity, it increases the legitimacy of your social profile on Google. And if you have questions on how to set that up, go ahead and contact us. We can easily configure that for you. The last step in this equation is to link all your social channels from your site. You commonly see it as icons in the footer or in the header or in the sidebar. You want to make sure that you link back to your social profiles from your site so that when Google crawls your site, they can detect your social profiles. Your social profile is linking back to you, and that's how you get the good cohesiveness of social media platform setup and optimization for SEO. You can set up all these profiles, but if you don't link your site to them, you're kind of cutting yourself off of the authority that you could get. It also adds validity to your site itself. From a user perspective, they can check out your social profile. They can recognize you on these different platforms. Maybe that's where they would prefer to engage with you. By not having social profiles set up, you potentially cut yourself off from some user feedback, some visitor interaction, some ways that you could interact with your customers and audience and potentially move them closer to doing business with you or gain valuable insights about your products or services or your business, or even your competitors will sometimes jump onto your social platforms and engage with you. So it really opens you up having these different social channels. As far as done-for-you services go, you're welcome to contact us. Our site is ocseo.com. Our phone number is 949-494-0007. You can email me directly at Tyler, Tyler, at ocseo.com. And we'd be happy to do the branding, the images, and all the custom writing and the profile development for you. Make sure it's optimized for SEO. We can set up all your different profiles. Make sure that you're leveraging those channels properly for an SEO strategy. Just reach out to us, and we'd be happy to set that up for you. Good luck with your search engine marketing endeavors. Until next time, Tyler Collins out.